I got one of my favorite rockers to see live and hang out with, and I talked to a lot of them, so Jonny, it's meant sincerely. Jonny Heatherington from Art of Dying, welcome to the show.
Hey, thanks for having me, bro.
So, what prompted me, as much as we love seeing you guys whenever we can, what really prompted me to first call was to ask you, I was thrilled to see you guys were added to Shiprocked this year. Can you talk a little bit about that, what that means to the band?
Yeah, man, we're really excited to be on the boat. I had the pleasure of being there last year just as a guest, and I had a really great time, and it was my first time actually on a cruise ship at all. And it was my first time seeing bands on a cruise ship, and they do just a fantastic job of making it just a real great rock and roll experience on a boat. So they asked the whole
do you know if you're getting a plugged in and a not plugged in set, or are you doing both?
That's what I heard actually, is we're doing one of each. So I know they have a great group of stages. There's an outdoor stage, and there's a theater stage, and then there's a couple smaller stages, and I'm sure we're doing an intimate acoustic set and a fully plugged big rock set, so we're looking forward to both.
Now, you just released a piano version of a tune, and in fact, two tunes. When you guys play acoustic, do you play the piano at all, or is that something totally separate for you?
It's completely separate and really brand new for me, to be honest. I brought a piano into my life and into my home studio, a baby grand, and I just started, tickling the ivories every now and then. And I thought I'd start figuring out some of the Art of Dying songs on piano just to see what, I love singing at a piano, and I'm just self-taught. I just play by ear, so it's become really unique just to while I've been at home to be able to just figure out the songs, and it seems to really work. It just draws out a different performance, and a lot of the lyrics take on a whole different kind of impact with piano accompaniment. So it's just been really fun for me to do, and really just being all alone with one instrument and the words and the interpretation is just really, it's been powerful for me. So I hope to do a few more.
It's a really cool, the one I heard both of them, but best I can was a really cool version of it. To hear you say that you've never even been trained it, and now that I have even a bigger appreciation for that song, I had to chuckle though, because when you pull it up on iTunes, it listed as easy listening, and I never thought I'd see the day where an Art of Dying song was listed as easy listening music.
Yeah, totally right. Who knows how that happened? It's just probably they assume it's one voice and piano. I'm probably right next to Kenny G or something in there.
Now, you mentioned that you weren't formally trained on piano. The harmonies are always been a huge part of Art of Dying. Are any of you guys trained singers? Is that all just self-taught? Did you all go somewhere to learn that?
We're pretty much all self-trained singers for sure. I think Tavis has the most training when it comes to guitar, and when he teaches an online guitar school as well, and half an hour with Tavis, and you'll be pretty amazed at that guy's knowledge of music itself. I don't think Tavis, to my recollection, I don't think he's had any formal vocal training, although he can. We often on the bus, we'll have different people on board, and we'll have a few beers, and one of the things we do to pass the time sometimes is we'll just anyone start singing a note, and Tavis will be able to name the note just out of thin air always. So it's kind of he's usually bang on. So he's really talented that way. Our three voices together, is really a special thing, and I had a little training last year through a woman named Melissa Cross out of New York City, and she's just, people always ask me, what's the best thing to do to sing or to keep your voice on the road or any of those things, and I always just mention Melissa Cross because her training it's something else, man. It's very, very different way of thinking about, the voice that comes out of your body, and she has a DVD set, I think, called Zen of Screaming, and that's something that's pretty affordable. And she's just an amazing thinker when it comes to the voice. So I would recommend that to anyone, and it definitely changed my approach. And just being on the road and having to think about having your voice show up every night, it's something that has really helped me.
Well, whatever she did worked, man, because it comes out awesome all the time. Now, hey, I want to take you way back, because the song I've always wanted to ask you about, all the way back to 2006. Tell me about the tune Car Crash. Is that a real story about something?
That song I wrote just on my own for the independent record, and I was in a dark place at that time. There was not a real car crash or a real story that came out of it. What I often think about, I'm really fortunate to have most of my family alive to this day. My parents are still living, and my brother and just a lot of my close family is still with me. And I haven't had to go through a lot of the tragedies that a lot of people do go through, when they lose a loved one. But I definitely I'm empathetic to that situation of loss, and I'm really, I don't know, I find myself when I have a guitar in my hands or a piano, it's something I think about a lot, is losing people that are close to me, and definitely losing, if you were to be the one in your last moments alive, what would be important to you? What would you be thinking about? Who would you be thinking about? And then, that really ties into just the motto or the vibe of the band, just art of dying being my life to live or your life to live. It's just, if you try to keep the things that are important to you close to your heart every day, that's kind of a good way to live, in my opinion. So, and that song really sums it up. It's your dying moments. What would you be thinking about? And I haven't been close to death yet, fortunately, but I think that song is pretty much the closest thing for me.
I hope that song makes a comeback someday. I know it was only out on the independent album, but as you guys write, and I'd love to see that one reappear. Are you guys working on a new album now? Vices and Virtues is still out there strong. Do you guys working on the follow-up now?
We are, man. Yeah, we're really excited right now. We basically called it a year as far as touring goes, and we're focusing on writing the next record, which, I'm thrilled to say it's almost, I would say, done, really. We've really dug in and written individually and together as a band, and just we're diving pretty deep into our muse and trying to come up with something that can follow up Vices Virtues, and I think we're there. So the next step is to jump into the studio, record it, and that's something we want to be touring all next year after Shiprocked. So hopefully, I think Shiprocked will be the only show between now and February. So, and after that, we should be out there with a brand new album.
Can't wait to hear the new music. Now, you guys do some pretty cool things online. Like, I always like looking at the Sharpie tattoos you do. How did that start? And can you kind of tell people what that tradition is?
Yeah, man. It started as cheat notes. It was, our early shows, I couldn't remember our set lists, or, we'd come up with them right before the show. So I just grab a Sharpie that we would have around for signing after the show, and I would just write all the names of the songs kind of on my arm, just so I had a place to look down. And there were some songs, that were coming together right before shows where we didn't even have lyrics for a certain song. I remember we were on a little writing trip together back a few years ago, play 3 songs, and we were so hyped up about one of the songs that we had just written, but we didn't even have words yet. It was just melodies and music. So, but we wanted to play it on TV. Like, we were just, just really enthusiastic. So I wrote the words on the way to the show, just on the van, and then I ended up, writing them on my arm and just kind of having cheat sheets around. It started that way, and then it really started to be, I would pick a theme every day that I really wanted to remind myself of when I was on stage. And you know, when you're on stage, it is like a car crash. It's, you know, things just happen real slow, and time slows down, and often you just forget about yourself and who you are. You just kind of become an instrument, and things are strange. So I'll often, like, I used to write little notes to myself, just like, breathe, you know, like, don't forget to breathe, because the show before, you know, you were fighting for air, or you know, I would try and remember simple things from how I wanted to sing, or how I wanted to articulate that show that I felt maybe I didn't do the night before. And then, you know, I just kept taking it a step further. We'd roll into a town or a city, and I'd have a memory or a vibe that I would just want around me. You know, so it's just kind of like having a vibe around you for the evening. And you know, I'll go into Seattle, and I'll remember back to my influences like Nirvana and Pearl Jam stuff, and I'll usually grab something that reminded me of where I was really inspired by those guys, or, you know, for Free Days Grace or Adam or someone, I'll remember a certain Grace song that really inspires me, and, you know, just kind of things. It's just kind of having a little inspiration on your left arm so you can see it.
Well, they're a lot of fun to watch, and I think it's cool because, you know, you just see so many people, it's like, I know them by their tattoo, but you're never going to get accused of that because it changes too often, so people got to recognize you because they recognize you, not because of the ink.
That's the advantage too, man. You know, it's like, I would probably get a tattoo if I could figure out a vibe that I wanted forever, you know, around me then. And a lot of people, I admire them because they've got that, you know, something happened in their life where they want that with them forever, and I really admire that. And mine just kind of changes day to day. Sticking with the Sharpie for now.
Well, listen, man, I really want to thank you for joining us. I'm super excited to hear that you guys are doing new music. I can't wait to see you again, and I really can't wait to see you on the ship. And for folks that have never met you, man, and especially you Shiprockers, I'm going to set you up now. You're probably glad. Sorry I said this, but Jonny is a super approachable guy. Now you're probably angry at me because everybody's going to run up to you. But every time I've seen you out, I don't think that's going to bother you because I always see you hanging with the fans.
Yeah, man. You know, I don't take that very lightly. I love it. You know, I love the reason we got into music is because we love the whole thing that surrounds it, not just the music. I love the, as you probably noticed, I love the party. I love the after hours. I love, you know, everything about the fans and the people that love music. You know, our diehard community, they know right away that I always say we're all in this together, and I really believe that. So it's important to remember that every day, and that's what I'm doing out there. And the whole band's that way. You know, we like being social, having fun, and that's what it's all about.
Well, Jonny, thanks so much for joining us, man. I'm going to see you on board the ship, and we really appreciate you joining us tonight. Stay safe out there between now and Shiprocked, and we'll see you on the boat, man.
Beautiful, man. Can't wait. It's going to be an adventure.
Have a great day, man.
You too.